o'clock. The meeting will now start.
Good evening. I call to order this regular joint meeting of the Minnehaha County and Dell Rapids Planning Commission, and I will begin with a few introductory comments. My name is Bonnie Duffy. I am the chair for the Minnehaha County Planning Commission, and Tom Schweibach is here for the Dell Rapids Planning Commission. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones have been silenced. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via City Link and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.org site for viewing by the general public. The two planning commissions work together on land use and zoning matters within the rural areas surrounding the city. This area is displayed on the screen. When this joint hearing is completed, the joint Dell Rapids and County Planning Commission will adjourn, and the next regular business meeting will begin to consider items beyond the joint zoning jurisdiction with Dell Rapids. Any final action taken on the conditional use permit applications tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, July 3rd at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission and City Council for a joint hearing on Tuesday, July 18th at or after 9 a.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and meetings of the Joint County Commission and Dell Rapids City Council are held in this same room. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are perceived to be non-controversial and meet all of the requirements of the codes and regulations. The consent agenda will be acted on in one motion with no public hearing on the items unless a member of the public, the commission, or staff requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. The minutes from the September 26, 2022 meeting are included in the consent agenda. Next, I'll read each item on the consent agenda and ask if there's any issues or comments from the Planning Commission or the audience. If any member of the Planning Commission or the audience would like to be heard on the item, please raise your hand, and the item will be moved to the regular agenda to allow you to address the commission later in the meeting. Any items remaining on the consent agenda will be approved by the Planning Commissions with the conditions recommended by staff. Item number 1 on the consent agenda is the approval of the minutes of the September 26, 2022 meeting. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 23-16 to allow a contractor's shop and storage yard on the property legally described as Lot 1, Track 1, Pliska's Edition, West Half, Southeast Quarter, Section 12, Township 104 North, Range 50 West, that is in Burke Township. The petitioner is Douglas Crosby. Property owner is Boost Properties LLC. It is located at 47167 Lindy Circle. Is there anyone in the audience or the Planning Commission wishes to address this item? Okay, item number 3 is conditional use permit 23-29 to allow storage units and outdoor storage on the properties legally described as Kennefic Subdivision, Lot E of Lot 11, East Half, and Lot D, there is an exception of Lot G, end of exception, Subdivision, Lot 11, Kennefic Subdivision, all in Section 16, Township 104 North, Range 49 West, that is in Dell Rapids Township. Petitioner is C&J Properties, owner is Darlene Feehan, 24665 South Garfield Avenue is the location.
Move that off.
Okay. A Planning Commission from Dell Rapids wishes to remove item number 3 to the regular agenda. I will entertain a motion for item number 1 and number 2.
I'll make a motion to approve items number 1 and items number 2.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the county side to approve item number 1 and number 2. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes on the county side.
I'll second. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. We moved to item number 3. Kevin?
And good evening, I'm Kevin Hookman from the County Planning Department. I'll try to run through the staff report a little quicker since we have a longer meeting today. So the conditional use permit 2329 is to allow storage units and outdoor storage on this property as shown on the screen. The parcel is a former airstrip with a portion of the asphalt runway still on the property. The proposed development is to develop this property into phases. Let's see if I can put up a map. With the buildings on the west side or to your left of this image being built first and then increasing to the right as the phases continue. The outdoor storage is set to be done on the airstrip that is currently there, so it'll be on the already paved portion of the property. So in the staff report, you have the conditional use permit criteria that is to be reviewed. I would also point out at the end, or after all this, and the staff report was published, staff worked with the city of Dell Rapids staff, and we had discussed the property and its location with the city of Dell Rapids. So you can see here on this map, you got this gray area right here. Most of this South Garfield Avenue is paved because it's next to city annexed land. The concern is this property being the potential blocking of future annexations to the south as the airstrips develops into more industrial and commercial land. So the staff just wanted to bring that up as a concern and possible amendments to the conditions from there. The county planning staff is recommending approval of this petition or this application for storage units with 6 conditions. Then the 7th condition, if you need one, it could be added, and I think the Dell Rapids will propose something here. So if you have any questions, we can move forward with that.
Any further questions for him? Guess not at that. Go ahead.
Probably a question for Justin or with the city to discuss the information kind of came late in the day for us, and we really didn't have a lot of time to think and talk about it. But I don't know if Justin would like to kind of further discuss the thought behind this with regards to that property and the pre-annexation discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Huff. I'm Justin Weiland, City Administrator with the City of Dell Rapids. This was sort of noticed at the end of today, so sorry for the late notice to our planning commissioners. In the past, the city has entered into what we'll call pre-annexation agreements with properties that are neighboring our current city limits. If you look at the scope of where this property is and our current city limits, in order for the city to continue annexing to the south, this is the only contiguous property that's undeveloped that would allow for continued annexation to the south. So I guess from City Hall's perspective, see this as an important piece. This applicant is coming requesting a special permit, a conditional use permit. Now is the time to enter and engage in these types of conversations and agreements with the party. So there's I believe I provided a sample pre-annexation agreement to the board. I've also provided that to the applicant in advance of this meeting. This is just stating that in the future, utilities extended, that the applicant would not deny the city's ability to annex the property in the future. Any additional questions?
Is the property to the north currently annexed into the city?
That is not currently annexed into the city, no.
Have you talked to them about that?
There was a time period established that they avoided annexation when they provided the the right-of-way for Quartzsite Street to be developed.
So in essence, you can't annex this property in question until the property to the north is annexed, and they agree to be.
Well, on the east side of there, you could jump Garfield Avenue from the east where the Fegan Development Park is located.
What time frame are you thinking, Justin? I mean, how soon do you think that would?
I think it would mostly be determined by future development, potentially by this property, wanting or needing utilities in the future would be my response to that.
Okay. I guess it'd be interesting to hear what the owner feels about this too. Do one of you guys want to address that?
Are you the petitioner? We have to go through the process. Is the petitioner here?
I'm sorry. Yes, these are the petitions.
Okay, if you want to step forward and state your name and address, then they can question you, or you can explain.
So I'm Jamie Nielsen.
Cody Sunderman.
Yeah, so phasing wise for us, as they mentioned, starting on the west side, we'd be cold storage only. So we wouldn't need access to any water, no sewer, right? And currently the way we have it laid out, as we move towards the east, there's the potential that once we get to the last phase, we would potentially need sewer and water. Of course, at that time, if we need sewer and water, we obviously would go to the city, request that, pay, and then it would need to be annexed in at that point in time.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, I know it was awful short notice today.
Yeah.
This sprung on you guys. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, we're okay with it. We're okay signing the fact that we will not block it.
Right.
I think the part that we're uneasy signing with just short notice is the fact that we're not sure what that dollar amount is, right?
Yeah.
If it said, hey, no matter what the cost, you guys will have to pay this, like, we're probably not comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
But
Do you
we're,
have that figure,
Yeah.
Justin? Of what our property would, what that dollar figure is?
I think you weren't, yeah, he wasn't sure yet. Yeah.
Okay.
But we have no intentions of blocking it.
Okay.
Yep.
That's,
Does that help?
that was my main concern.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
a short notice thing.
Yep.
so. All right. Is that all right with you guys? Do you need more information on that?
Anyone else have any questions for them?
Madam Chairman.
Go ahead.
Just, for the Dell Rapids Planning Commission, can you use your microphones? Because we're recording this, so when you speak, push the button down so we all can get it on tape. Thanks.
Anyone else have any questions for them?
Do we have any additions to the conditions then?
Yeah, I guess based on what I heard from the landowner, I'm okay with, I would like a seventh condition that the applicant must sign a pre-annexation agreement with the city of Del Rapids prior to the issuance of a building permit or allowing any outdoor storage.
Okay. Are you all right with that?
Yeah, we're
Adding
fine
the
with that.
condition?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Commissioners on the county side have any questions for them? Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience care to address this item?
So I'm.
Please state your name and address, sir.
My name is Peter Deacon. I live 24668 South Garfield Avenue, right across the street from that property. And I'm not here opposing. I think it's actually great that they're developing it, but I just want you guys be something aware of. So there's oil road and it turns into gravel right by my house. And there's about south of there, about a dozen or so houses. And we're just surprised. I'm representing a bunch of neighbors here today. How many semis and vehicles from Corey and industrial complex, they fly right down that road. And this is going to increase the traffic. So I would just ask county to maybe propose some sort of road management type of deal, because that's going to increase the traffic there as well. Right now, we're paying to spray the county roads, that road, because it's sort of shortcut where people don't want to go drive around through town, so they just take that road. So I would just ask you guys nicely just to consider that somehow for the houses that are there, just to take care of that road, So.
I would think that'd be more of a township issue, wouldn't it?
well, it's right across the street, and that's gonna increase the traffic, because there's gonna be more cars going in and out of there, so they're gonna be going right by it. Because oil turns into gravel, and they don't slow down, you know?
Right, but I
Who
think the
maintains it?
entrance to this is,
Well, my
Further
house, I can
north.
see it right there.
the entrance to the property is like on the paved part of it, and I would.
Part of the property is on a paved road, part of it is on a gravel. So I don't know where entrance is gonna be or what, but they're gonna it's gonna definitely increase the traffic, so. So just like county consider that, you know, some sort of, take care of that road better if you guys gonna approve something that's gonna increase traffic. But I'm not opposing to this. I think this is great to build those things, so
Okay.
that's
Do
all.
you know who maintains that road? Any of you
Del
guys?
Rapids Township does, I believe, from the
Okay.
gravel part south. Is that
Yeah.
correct, Justin? Yep.
Okay. That may be an issue that you and your neighbors might have to have a sit-down with them.
The township.
Yeah, with the township,
Yeah.
to see what they can do to help you. Because it's really, the city of
I
Del
don't
Rapids doesn't
know
have any
how.
control over the roadway, it's the township that does.
You know. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna increase the traffic. There's a lot of cars flying by, so if you approve something that's gonna increase the traffic, maybe consider like the roads as well, you know, for the neighbors that live around, along the side, so. Thank you.
Anyone else care to address this item? Commissioners? Oh. Please state your name and address.
Eric Fegan, 24831 476th Avenue, Del Rapids. I guess I'm very ill prepared, but I'm on the Del Rapids Township. So, and I wasn't aware of this at all, so I was just more or less being informed right now. But so that property technically is Del Rapids Township, taxable land. Is that the way I take it? So, I mean, because it's not annexed into the
I
city.
guess so.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
so.
So it would be, I didn't know if that was something that if it's getting a conditional use permit, that the township should have been informed about it or not, or I'm just asking questions merely. And so, but it's planning on being annexed into the city at some point in time, the plan? Okay, I would address his concern about the road situation also, because it had gotten addressed earlier about some other development there and not wanting all that extra traffic down the township road because the driveway is currently going on the city street, and is it gonna be directed that way, or is it gonna be coming down a township road? If there's a lot of extra traffic, I guess, that's a concern of ours also, from the township's perspective.
My assumption, Eric, would be most people are gonna come from Del Rapids on the paved road to get in there.
I would assume so, you know, but
That's,
they're gonna have to if they're coming from
Yeah.
the south, they'll have to, you know, they'll have to backtrack to get back to there, so just the road is a concern of the townships also, I guess.
Sure, but you probably should have a discussion with the patrons there, because my bet is that you're assessing them anyway, unless you're just taking this from your own coffers or whatever, but that's usually what happens.
Correct.
So by front footage or whatever. I think I'd have a discussion with the neighbors along with maybe Del Rapids itself for the roadway there.
Yep.
To
I was
see
just-
what the numbers are.
Right. I was just bringing up this slight
Sure.
concern, I guess, about the road too, because this is the first I've heard about it, so that's why I just wanted to jump up here and express my concern also.
all right.
Makes
Thank you.
sense. Thank you. Anyone else in the audience care to address this item? Okay, I'm going to close the floor. Commissioners?
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to approve this with the added condition.
I'll second that and just make a comment that, I don't know that we have purview to comment on the road condition or any additional maintenance. I guess with that said, I would encourage some mutual arrangement to work with the neighbors as best you can, but beyond that, I think this is a good use of the land in an industrial park that's already existing. So again, with that, I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve this with the additional condition. Any further comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes on the county side.
We have a motion on the city side.
I'll make a motion that we approve it with the addition of the pre-annexation agreement verbiage that we had mentioned.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. Any old business? Any new business? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn on the county side.
So moved.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose?
Motion to
I'll
adjourn.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Take that.